All right. Well, this is SANDCAST, beach volleyball with Bourne and Travis Mewhirter, and we have a couple Floridians visiting in town. We got Sarah Schermerhorn and Kim. I don't know what last name you want to go by now. Kim Hildreth.
Still Hildreth.
Okay. So you're not doing the change to Jelks?
The Jelks will happen eventually.
Okay. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
It's
You
awesome.
too.
Thanks.
Yeah.
It's been a busy off season for
Yeah,
us.
yes.
really?
Yeah.
The Newlywed Podcast.
Yeah,
you guys move quick.
Sarah's
Yeah.
only, Sarah
I
doesn't
don't move quick. I've
Sarah,
been with my husband for 13 years. Married for a year and a half.
Okay.
I was going to say, you're married for 13 years, so you got married when you were like 18.
no, just started dating. High school sweethearts.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. You don't see that too often.
Yeah.
No.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I think we were like 8 years, my wife and I, before we got married.
Not totally
I
uncommon.
think, yeah.
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 We're on like year 5.
He's in
Yeah.
like
You guys are a little
Year and a half.
When you know, you know.
But welcome to California. How's your visit been? Maybe a little bit smoother, easier to get to than Cambodia.
It's definitely way easier. It's taking the straight flight, 5-hour flight was like easy peasy this time.
Yeah.
So a lot of times we're like, oh dang, okay, gotta go to Cali, but
Oh, yeah.
after you do a trip like that, it's like 5 hours.
Nothing.
No
Nothing.
big deal.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're in the States, going to a familiar place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's
everybody
nice.
around you is from the States.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. When you travel internationally, because I pretty much just started doing that last year, you really start to love some of the things you just never even noticed.
Yeah.
I used to always whine about a flight to Maryland home.
Right.
Now I'm just like, oh, it's the shortest flight. I've been
Yeah.
on. It's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, we had a 16-hour one on our way back, and that was after a 1-hour flight, a 3-hour layover, an 8-hour flight, and 10-hour layover, then a 16-hour
Yeah.
flight.
Yeah,
That was good.
Your guys' trip there was crazy.
It was
Yeah.
a little
Because
crazy.
you had to drive to. So you live in Orlando?
We
Or you
live in Tampa.
In Tampa.
Tampa St. Pete. Yeah.
Okay, and then you had to drive down to Miami.
Yeah, like a 4-hour
During
drive.
Super Bowl weekend.
Yes.
Ooh, yeah.
Well, we had flights from Tampa that were cheaper and quicker, but they had a 24-hour layover in Shanghai, and that wasn't
Which
looking
is
so
not
good.
advisable at
Yeah.
the moment.
Yeah.
We didn't mind going there, but we didn't want to we didn't know what was going to happen.
We didn't want
Right.
to get stuck there.
So,
Yeah.
Nobody
Yeah.
wants to get stuck in Asia for a quarantine.
Right.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
So we ended
We
up
diverted.
the only way we could go around China was to fly out of Miami and go through Qatar.
Yeah.
So that's what we did.
As if Qatar is that much better for a woman to have a long
No,
layover.
Middle East, China,
Yeah.
coronavirus, which would do, yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
But at the end of the day, worth it. Congrats on
Yeah.
first FIVB main draw, right?
Yeah.
For both of you
Yeah.
guys.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was it? Was your preparation different at all for an FIVB versus an AVP?
I mean, I think it's been a little different. One, using different balls.
Yeah.
Obviously, we did that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's just kind of the earliest we've prepped for a tournament.
Yeah.
Competing at a high
Yeah.
level. And it's kind of like an early FIVB anyways. But I
Yeah.
think the fact that we played together for so long, we're kind of ready to take those steps and,
Yeah.
if we need to jump into competition, it's a little bit easier to get there. We definitely
Right.
kind of shifted our training and what we were doing
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
prepare a little bit more for game-like
Right.
match play.
Right.
But yeah, definitely, I mean, a new experience. You know,
Yeah.
you always have different feelings and different emotions going into that kind of situation. But I think it's good to get one under our belt, and we're
Yeah.
excited to play some more.
Isn't it? It's a little more, or it's a lot more scary when you put in so much of that. You invested all that time in the travel and all that crappy
there's
part
quite
of
a bit
it.
more
Yeah.
on the line.
Yeah.
I'm not losing
Yeah.
this qualifier right here.
Yeah.
There's no
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was definitely the feeling in the qualifier.
Yeah.
We were I think we played somebody from Thailand, and we were like, now you took a 3-hour flight
Yeah.
to get here. We're winning this match.
Yeah, you're gonna,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to go home
Yeah.
early on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I hate that travel.
It's
I
pretty
better
rough.
I better start to like it
But-
real quick.
Yeah, no, you like that travel.
Is that back on the
Yeah.
road?
Yeah.
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 I don't like it, and you're way taller than me, so
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. You got to get that status. That's the trick.
Yeah, we don't have that
No,
status.
we don't.
Yeah.
Sarah's got
Airline
a
status.
cute
20 more
little
trips to
smile though.
Cambodia.
With the,
Might get there.
Sarah just walks right up to the the desk at the gate,
I
and
try.
she just is tall and cute, and they're like, okay, we got to put you in an exit row.
that's true.
Sometimes it works.
No,
And
you
sometimes
gotta
I
do it.
get the side eye.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, she's with me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Always gotta
Yeah.
ask.
you gotta ask for sure, and the status only helps like 20% of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get the extra economy plus, so you get the 4 inches, which is huge.
Huge.
Like, I'm good.
It is.
If I can get an aisle
I know,
economy
right?
plus, we're
Yeah.
good. We're good to go, just with the 4 inches.
Yeah.
But then once you start having the super long layovers, and you can go to
Yeah.
the lounge and get a full meal.
Yeah, Kim's got us hooked up at the lounges.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
So
guys
we
are
do have
dialed.
some status.
You're
Yeah.
dialed.
Big move.
Yeah.
Lounges are clutch, especially when you guys had all those layovers.
Yes.
Lounges had to have been
Well,
huge.
Doha, there's a freaking gym. So we paid, I don't know, like
$50.
$50 for like you get the gym access if you do anything in the spa. So we got like a 30-minute massage in
Paid
the
a little
gym.
more for that.
Oh,
We
hell yeah.
we crushed like 4
They had
hours
a
in
pool.
there.
Oh,
Like
that's
a
the
pool,
way
like
to go.
really nice
overlooking
pool.
The terminal. They had a workout room.
They had a squash court. Isn't
Yeah, we
that what it
peppered.
is? We peppered for like 45 minutes. In
That's
the
the greatest
Really?
layover I've ever
Yeah,
had.
it really was. Yeah, I
We
mean,
worked out. They had a hot tub.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's
It was awesome.
ideal.
was great.
Rather than like laying with your backpack as your
Yeah.
pillow, like,
Well-
and people
Yeah.
are walking over you.
We did that on the way back.
Right,
We were
of
like the
course.
gym. After all that travel, we were like, no, we got like
Yeah.
upgraded to a nicer lounge
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
because the other one was packed and
That was great.
there was nobody in there. Like, cause we were there overnight, like 11 p.m. to 8
8
a.m.
a.m.
Oh.
So there was nobody in the lounge, and we
You
just
already know.
spread
You're
out.
like expert travelers already. It's your first
Yeah.
trip. You're killing it.
Yeah.
We try.
Had you guys traveled not for volleyball ever, like internationally? Have you guys traveled much?
Yeah.
I did a study abroad in Australia.
Okay.
Went to China with my dad's company, and then I lived in Europe for 3 years.
Oh, there you go.
So
Yeah.
I did a little bit of that.
Playing in Europe?
Yeah, indoor.
Indoor? Got it.
Denmark and south of France.
Ooh, that's nice. Sounds great. I heard the beaches are nice down there.
Yeah, they are.
Dang, I'm trying to go there.
Yeah.
Yeah, why can't we get an FIVB there?
I know.
I know, I've never been to France. And the
France
guys
is-
used to
oh,
tell me
France is
stories
awesome.
about Paris. They used to play in the park right there in front of the Eiffel Tower.
Oh my gosh, that's
Really?
Yeah,
amazing.
just eating,
Yeah.
crushing baguettes and
Yep.
cruising. But they never brought that one back,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my first time in Asia. But I've traveled quite a bit throughout Europe and like South America, but not to Asia.
Got it.
So different
A
travel.
little different.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Europe's like you're spoiled when you go to Europe. I
Well,
feel
and we
like.
come from
especially from the East Coast.
East Coast is like
Yeah.
easy peasy.
It's like
Super
1
easy.
8-hour flight maybe.
Yeah.
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 And Europe is hardly even that much different than like driving up and down the East Coast. You like drive up for 3 hours and you're in 2 different states,
Yeah.
and then you drive across Europe and it's like, oh, we just passed through 3 different countries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so weird. I mean, we're basically different countries. Like how different our certain states are in the U.S. Like I'm
Yes.
from Hawaii, exact opposite of New York, but
Yeah.
then like
Yeah.
also the exact opposite of like Louisiana,
Right.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then the exact opposite of
Right.
Minnesota or whatever.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's yeah.
You
I've
go
always
to
said
s-
I think it's hard for like to have a central government overlooking our country
Yeah.
that's so
So different.
vast
Yeah.
and different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas you go to some of like these smaller countries like where I lived in Denmark, and I'm like 98% Danish people. Like
Right.
they all live a very similar
Yeah.
lifestyle, and like their culture's the same
like all of Scandinavia is more similar than
than like our whole
than,
country.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure,
Yeah,
than
it's
our
crazy.
whole country.
Yeah.
It's
That's interesting.
definitely tougher.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was your experience overseas though? Because you played at Elon
I played at
and
Elon.
then went to. Did you go right to Denmark?
I did. It was actually Brannigan Fuller is the one that got me
Really?
Wow.
to go over there.
Okay.
Yeah. She was in my conference, and she took a 5th year at UNC Chapel Hill.
Okay.
And we were actually playing like a local beach tournament, and she was like, "What are you doing next year?" Da, da, da. I was like, "I don't know, thinking about going to play overseas." She's like, "Well, I'm playing in Denmark, and we need a middle on our team." So she like texted her coach or whatever, and like by the end of the day, it was like I was going to play
epic.
over
Yeah,
there.
that's pretty
awesome.
smooth. That's a lot smoother
Brand,
than
hooking it
most
up.
people get to go play
Yeah,
overseas.
yeah,
She was an agent before she went to law school.
yeah. I know. Her experience didn't really work out. She was on a different team, so she ended up coming back and then hitting the beach scene.
Uh-huh.
but the team I got on was a little bit nicer and better. So I stayed, and then I went to France, which was awesome.
Oh, sick.
For those 2 years.
Yeah.
Loved it over there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What made you want to stop? Because it seems like you had a really good experience. A lot of people that I've talked to who've played indoor overseas were not infatuated by it.
Yeah.
So, but you seem to really enjoy it.
No, I really liked it. I think part of it was like I'm just kind of doing this for like the experience.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to play indoor,
Right.
long term.
As a middle.
Not as a middle, yeah. I was like, my dad had both his knees redone. My aunt, my grandmother. I was like, it's
I
not
need to
really
get
my
off this
genes.
hard work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, basically as a middle, they're just like, hey, go jump over there in the corner,
Right,
run to
right.
this side, jump, run to that side, jump.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. In the back of my mind, I said if there was ever an opportunity to like go and train beach or play that,
Yeah.
just with my little taste of it, I was like, that's the sport that I would like really love to
Right.
play.
Yeah.
So
And there began our partnership.
yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
And you played at Eastern Michigan.
I played at Eastern.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I was able to take a 5th year and play 1 year at the University of North Florida.
Okay. And that was beach, right?
That was beach.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was
Swoop.
pretty cool. It was
Right?
yeah, swoop. Yep. Go Ospreys.
Yeah.
Didn't know what an osprey was till I moved to Florida. Yeah, it was cool. I mean, it was really tough because actually, when I think I was a junior in college, me and one of my best friends tried out for USA Volleyball's U26 program
Yep.
that they had going on at the time. Made the team, came out here, trained with the team for like a little bit, kind of did that thing. And got my real taste of that, like getting to come to Southern California. And
Yeah.
we stayed in Hermosa for like a month, and it was like, okay, this is what I need to do.
Yeah.
So going into my senior year of college, I was like, I don't know, the beach thing was starting to come in college, and I was like, I think I had redshirted because I had knee surgery my freshman year of college.
Okay.
So I had a year of real eligibility left, and I was like, I think I need to try to figure out how to play beach, but living in Michigan, it was the middle of the winter when I was like thinking about this. So
Right.
I was like, I have no volleyball film. I have like, even if I go and like play at these schools, I haven't played in like 6 months
Yeah.
and like have 0 sand legs. So went to UNF, and the coaches were like awesome, and kind of were just like looking for some people to fill the roster. I think I don't know if they really had any expectations at all,
Yeah.
and I didn't really
Yeah.
either. I was just like, I want to play. And they had a pretty good team from the year before. They won their conference and got to go to nationals like the first 3 years that it was a thing. So moved down to Jacksonville Beach. Love it there. Like Jack's Beach is like this hidden a lot of beach cities in Florida are super touristy. Jack's Beach is like total cool surfer town.
Yeah.
So got to play in college there. Me and my partner made the Paris Championship that year, which
Oh,
was really
nice.
cool.
Who'd you play with at North Florida?
Her name was Dagnia,
Okay.
little Latvian girl, a little feisty partner. Yeah. It was fun. We were like the little scrappy, tricky team.
Nice.
Not like a huge blocker, but like
Yeah.
great puller.
A little different
Yeah.
dynamic than you have now.
Yeah. Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, like the ball chemistry was real with her. Like it
Yeah.
was always like our game was super smooth. So yeah, it was fun. And then I wasn't sure what to do after that. So I actually ended up moving back home for the summer to Michigan.
Okay.
And then kind of was looking at my options. I was applying for a couple jobs out here in California, and then I was applying for some jobs throughout Florida just because I kind of fell in love in my 1 year.
Yeah.
And Cali is so far from my family. So ended up getting a job at the University of South Florida in Tampa as an
Okay.
academic counselor for the athletic department. So that kind of what brought me to Tampa. And at the time, it was like Shara Harris, Megan Wallen, Kristen Batt, Raquel, Pri. Like there was a ton of good ballers in Tampa, and I kind of found that crowd and was like, oh dang, like I could really play here. There's a lot of really good players here, a lot of really good coaches and training. So that was the year that I hated working in college athletics and they kind of fell in the NVL and like started playing. Started making money, and I was like, I think I'm making more money doing this than this job I don't like, so screw that.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I think I'm going to give this a shot. So
Awesome.
it really worked out. And then Sarah fell into my lap, and here we are.
Love it.
Yeah. How did you end up in Florida from South France?
So when did I finish over there? Like 2014, I think.
Okay.
And I came back and I was coaching at a juniors club, Beach
Okay.
South, and we we're taking the juniors down to a tournament in Singer Island.
Okay.
And the guy that runs the club, Scott, was like, hey, if you wanna play, I can like find you a partner. And I'm like, okay, it's like February, and like I played beach volleyball in like the summer months, not like in February.
Like no expectations.
Like again, this is North Carolina. He's like, okay, so this girl, they just came off like they won like their conference 3 times at Stetson, whatever. But it's Kaylee Melville.
Okay.
So went down, played with her. We actually made it to the finals. We played Kim and Kaya. And then after that, I think Mel, like her family lived in North Carolina, so she would come up and like we'd play local stuff that year. And then she's a good talker, and she convinced me to come to Florida. She's like, just come on down for like a week, whatever, and just try it out and try this training group out. I'm like, okay, I'll come down for like a week. And then I didn't really go back, so I kind of just stayed. She's like, so we're gonna like train in January and February and March, and I was like, okay.
And we'll just gotta keep training.
So Mel was the one that got me down, and then she moved to Cali, and Kim and I were kind of the 2 left in our group. Yeah. And she's a defender, I'm a blocker.
That worked out pretty well.
Yeah. You make it sound like, oh well, I guess she's the one.
Got stuck with this one.
No, it worked out. I mean, it worked out great. Yeah.
When are you guys coming to California is the question. Are you pretty happy in Florida?
Well, we just bought a house today, so not anytime soon.
All right, so you guys are going to stay there for a while.
If you guys ever get cold out here in the winter and you want to come to St. Pete and have a nice warm training sesh, we live like 2 blocks from our courts, super nice deep courts that our club, Raquel, got made, and it's nice. It's nice to show up. Yeah, Raquel.
I haven't heard from her in a long time.
Yeah.
She's on world tour for a second there.
Yeah, she was trying to make an Olympic run.
With Azerbaijan.
Yeah. And then things in Azerbaijan kind of didn't go their way. They didn't have the situation they thought they'd have, so that's when her and Vivian came and played and took over the NVL, their nasty Brazilian ways. Yep. And then that's how I met her, actually. I didn't even meet Raquel until I played against her in my first final in the NVL. That was a crazy tournament. I'd probably talked to Kaya like 3 times before that tournament, and that was when Brooke Niles got the job at FSU. Right. So she was like last minute needing a partner. And kind of everybody was paired up, and it's like that awkward, like, okay, she's the best blocker on tour, but do you really bail on your partner at the last minute, So, somebody gave her my name, and she called me, and I was like, yeah, I'll play with you. And she also had gotten her wisdom teeth taken out probably 3 days before the tournament, and, like, it wasn't, some people it's like no big deal, some people it's like a big deal. Right. I didn't know that until maybe like a year later, actually. So at that tournament, I'm like playing with like, best blocker on tour. I'm like, who am I? And she probably said like 4 words to me the whole tournament. And I was like, she's quiet anyway. Like I was like, I don't know, maybe she's just like, I don't know, she's doing her thing. We're playing great. I'm not gonna say anything. But like she couldn't talk. So we ended up playing Raquel in the final. Had a great match against them, and then she was like, who are you? And she was like, where do you live? She was super nice. Like after the tournament, she was just like, you're a great player, like where are you from? Like just chatting it up. And I was like, oh, I live in St. Pete. And she was like, oh, we're training next week, you want to come? So awesome. I started training with her and Vivian all summer, and then still training with her. She hasn't played in a while. She's just been focusing on coaching and stuff, and she'll still jump in stone cold and kick our butts.
Still got it.
Still got it.
Yeah, she's still got it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are there a lot of different teams to switch up training against in Florida? Because obviously Cali's like infinite teams.
Yes.
How is it down there?
Well, I think it's interesting because I feel like we were just talking to some people about kind of how it goes out here. Because we've never like been out here long enough to really worry about like how to train out here. We come out here and we just call enough people and like, can we jump into your practice?
Well, like some people will book up like a few weeks in advance and like fully be like, okay, you guys are our Fridays, and they have it all 5 days dialed in. Yeah. We kind of wing it like week to week. Yeah. But you could easily fill every day of the month with a different team if you wanted to out there.
Yeah. I think we're like really lucky. I think we have our coaches like been the same coach. I mean, Raquel Paula Roca, who we used to tear it up on the AVP back in the day, and our other coach, Victor. And we have he brought a Brazilian team like years ago that trains with us in Florida. So we've pretty much had the same like training group for me for like 4 years, Eunice and Camila. So
we'll bring some guys in sometimes
just for like a different look or a bigger
We've
block.
got like some different pickup games and stuff, but we play a lot of tournaments on the weekends in Florida. Like there's
something always going on.
Literally every weekend you could play a tournament.
50 weekends a year.
So
that's great.
We've got a lot of players down there that we see. We're not all necessarily close, but you've got Hogan and Rice and Pre and Bree and Aurora.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a bunch of other girls that play that and then just don't travel. That are still really good. You'll get a lot of Brazilian teams that come train in St. Pete with us or with Pre, or teams that go down to South Florida and train down there. And so you're just kind of like a weird rotating and then you got all, just like out here in the summer, you get all the college girls and the juniors to come out. And you're getting.
I was about to ask if you guys had because I know Peyton was down at Florida State.
Yeah.
If you guys got in with some of the Florida State girls, or they jumped.
Yeah, like Sarah Putt comes down and trains with us sometimes.
Okay.
And, so I mean, in the summer, you'll play Dig the Beach, and there's like 40 teams, and there's 25 really quality teams.
I'm like, holy cow!
Yeah,
this is crazy.
Yeah, so we were kind of talking to some friends about out here, there's not that many people don't play as many tournaments, so you're really looking to play like a competition.
Yeah.
But in Florida, you get tournaments.
Yeah, and there are good teams down there.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, at least quarters, semis, finals is like an AVP match.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
So.
That's great.
And the money in Florida is 100 times better than out here. Like a
actually
CBVA, you win a CBVA, and it's just here's a ball bag and a gift certificate to Sprouts.
Yeah. I mean, the first year I started playing, that's kind of how I made a living. I literally played any and every tournament. I was like, if I'm going to make $200, sweet, it adds up, you know? So, and I was like, I got my first year playing, I'm not kidding, I think I did the math. I played 40 tournaments because there were some weekends I'd play a tournament on Saturday and then there was a different tournament on Sunday, so I'd drive over there.
Yeah.
And play on
or
Sunday.
co-ed or something.
Co-ed, yeah. That's how I met my husband. We played co-ed together.
Oh, nice. There you go.
Yeah.
Just cleaning up the co-ed circuit.
Yeah.
$200 and a husband.
Yeah. It was a really good deal that day. Yeah, I didn't even realize actually. Yeah.
That's great.
I've heard good things about Dig the Beach. A lot of good players have really developed themselves over there and then brought themselves to the AVP eventually.
Yeah.
Even how long has it been around? Long time, right?
Long time.
Phil and Nick even started playing on that.
Yeah.
Adrian back in the day.
And that was when I think they had the Toyota tour and the Bud Light tour.
Right.
We're kind of up and down the East Coast and a lot in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have Rich, who does East End. He comes down to Florida for 6 to 8 tournaments a year. And those are always big events. That was the original Volley American Nationals. That was $10,000 right in Clearwater, so it's right where we live.
How is there no FIVB or AVP in Florida?
We
should have
that is
three
the question.
That is the question everyone in Florida asks every day.
That's what we're asking too.
Yeah.
I mean,
we,
if not in Southern California, we should be in Florida. That should be the next stop.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't come in June and July because it's the rainy season.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's come in May and September.
May and September and October are great months.
Amazing.
Yeah. I feel like
just put it out there.
New Orleans just ruined it for the South.
Yeah, with the rain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was an early tournament too, wasn't it?
It was in April, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
is
it
so
also wasn't
unfortunate.
at a beach.
Yeah,
if you're getting that
coconut.
much rain at a beach, it's not going to flood like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Coconut walking around with water up to here.
Yeah, I heard about that. And there was they changed the qualifier to games to 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, it was crazy. We had I lost
So
a
bad.
3-set match 7-5.
Oh my yeah. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Our third set was 7-5.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy. What is the game even at 7-5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That's insane.
That's nothing.
Yeah. I was like, oh, we didn't even switch twice.
Yeah, I know. You can be on good side the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was nuts.
That's pretty crazy.
I think we've gotten rained out. I've played in Florida probably 5 times. St. Pete was consistent for 4 or 5 years there.
Yeah.
Right before I moved
Rained
there.
out twice.
And Fort Lauderdale
But-
was huge.
Yeah,
Fort
the
Lauderdale was
FIVB that they
epic.
do in Fort Lauderdale was epic.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, and that was early in the year. That was in January.
February.
We don't
Yeah.
get rain
Yeah.
down there that time.
Fort
Yeah.
Lauderdale in
Don't get rain.
February. That's where you want to be.
3 years in a row, I think.
Yeah.
They were in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
And then like the 3 or 4 years before that in St. Pete, and it was great.
Yeah.
We had like nuts lightning and thunder like all of a sudden one day.
But it's quick. It's usually
it was quick. It was like,
it'll be over in an hour.
and then you watch the news later and someone got struck by lightning.
Yeah, that did happen this year.
Like,
that happened this year.
It was perfect weather, and then someone got struck by lightning, and then it was perfect weather.
Yeah. It's Florida. It's Florida.
Yeah.
We were we were joking. We spent a lot of time with Allie Wheeler in our Cambodia travels, and she'd never heard of Florida Man. And I was like,
oh, Florida Man.
For anybody that's listening,
my favorite.
oh my.
Let's hear this.
I'm about to blow
amazing.
up your DMs with Florida Man.
Oh, yeah, let's go. Bring it.
Oh, I mean.
Can you explain to Try what Florida Man is? 'Cause, we
Florida
love
Man
this. I work in
excited.
Florida and the newspaper there.
You know, if you look at the news, it's like Chicago man robs a bank, right?
Oh, okay.
So Florida Man is now like I don't know.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. It's a person. It's a fictitious person that's always in the news that's doing something.
It's a person that's a combination
of all
every person that's ever on the news.
Every person in Florida that you could think doing something that a Floridian would do. You know. So for example, one that I'll never forget when I read is somebody went through a Wendy's drive-thru and was just upset for some reason and threw a baby alligator through the window. And I just have so many questions.
Wow.
From that.
There's so many good ones.
Like,
you know, a lot of them.
Why do you have a baby alligator in your car, first of all? And why is it disposable?
Hey, can you grill this up for me?
It's like
maybe they're not even mad. They just.
It's seriously one of the best, like, because there's a Twitter account that's Florida Man. It's one of the greatest things.
And it just posts all the headlines of like the what did I just read? Kind of headline.
Yeah, because when I worked in the newspaper in Florida, we had like those headlines, like we had to run them, and we were just. Cause I sat right across from the news desk, and it was a riot.
That's amazing.
Like when they would come in, because I sat like right across the room from the crime writer, and she would just be like, "What are these people doing?"
Yeah, it's extremely entertaining. I mean, I feel like St. Pete's just such an interesting area. Like you have downtown and the beach and stuff is awesome, like super cool. It's kind of like people used to say like it was. I think I just read this the other day. People used to call it God's waiting room, apparently. That it was like where old people go to retire and die.
Right.
Oh god,
that's all Florida.
But it's totally not. St. Pete's so cool now, and you get the pockets of Florida that are kind of out there that you're like, those are that headline's from there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I need to do the legitimate like Florida tour. Go see all the nice beaches.
Absolutely.
Because like St. Pete was in the beach park every year.
Yeah.
Fort Lauderdale was great.
Yeah. That was
a few times I got good waves. That was cool.
Yeah, I bet.
You get good waves on the East Coast.
Yeah, Jacksonville gets good waves.
Really?
Yeah. All my friends at UNF when I was there were surfers.
But don't expect anything on the West Coast.
No.
West Coast, no, I wouldn't think so.
No.
But there's nice beaches there.
You can go skimboarding.
Right?
You can go on Sarah's
skateboarding.
You can go on Sarah's sailboat.
Come sailing.
I would love to do that.
So come to St. Pete.
Great.
We got a house. We got a spare room.
And we got a sailboat.
And we got a sailboat. Yeah. We got beach volleyball.
SANDCAST hits the road. We could do it from a sailboat.
SANDCAST goes sailing.
Yeah. Oh my god.
SAILcast.
That'd be awesome. That's where our husbands are right now, actually.
They're on a boat.
On your boat.
They were moving stuff into your house, and then they were going to work
on the boat.
On the boat.
That's great.
Yeah.
They're sitting on the boat right now, just cruising.
Yeah.
Cracking a few brews
or
something.
That's definitely what they're doing.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, they're missing you guys. I mean,
sure.
Talking about you guys at the moment.
Yeah.
Do you guys find it to be a disadvantage at all to live in Florida and be full-time beach volleyball players? Because I feel like most people just have this image that you have to live in California.
Yeah, you wrote an article about it.
I did. Yeah.
I don't know. I'd say right now we're okay.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think the cost of living is a little bit cheaper. I think just the situation with our coach and the fact that we do have good players around us. I think we're making it work, and it's not too hard to get out here. And I think our goal is to spend a little bit more time out here. As
during season.
Yeah, and like play with some different people and train out here a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think for the most part, like, I think it's doable, and I think you've got a decent amount of teams coming out of Florida that are making it happen. So
yeah, I don't know if I would even call it a disadvantage. I mean, I feel like kind of seeing how the training and stuff here goes, like I just feel like unless, you know, you're at where you guys kind of have your pick of who you want to train with, you've got a full-time coach, you guys are like a little bit more steady. Like I feel like people who are in our main draw, like qualifier range, like are just kind of maybe getting coached twice a week, like maybe. Right. I mean, I don't know how you afford it with the cost of living out here.
Yeah.
And I mean, in Florida, we're able to afford like full-time coach 5 days a week. Like it's consistent. Like we know every single day who's going to show up at practice, what we're working on. Like it's kind of hard, I feel like, to progress your own team when you have different players coming in and out and they don't really know like what you've been doing. Yeah. So I don't know. And for me, when I first started playing, I thought it was a great advantage because I was playing a tournament every weekend. I mean, what better way to like kind of catch up? Like I was somewhat behind in like matches maybe against the people I was playing against, and I think I made it up in 1 year. But also made money doing it. I mean, like the $200 to $500 a weekend, that adds up.
Yeah, especially really in Florida because that's like $400 to $1,000 out here.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I mean, the house we just bought is in like a really nice location, and it's like 1,400 square foot, $250,000.
Oh my God! Yeah. That's insane.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
A third of what it is here, maybe.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah,
probably. Yeah. You got a yard.
That's great. I mean, there's a reason Phil and Nick have been on tour for how long, and they moved back for that reason. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, I don't know. I'd kind of like to see, like, I'd kind of like to show people that, like, you can do it. Like, you can do it in Florida. Like, it's not for everyone to move here. I mean, as great of a time as I have every single time I come out here, and you too. I mean, my sister and her kids live in Chicago and Michigan, and, like, if I already don't see them, you know, like, as much as I'd like. So if I lived here, I would, like, never see them.
Totally.
So, yeah.
I hear you. I want to move back to Hawaii, but that's even more expensive.
Yeah.
Just in the wrong places altogether.
Yeah.
It's no good for me.
But you guys, this past year, you made like a huge jump, or at least on paper. I don't know if you guys felt like as players you made a huge jump, or if you were just like, because I remember when we talked after you guys played Austin maybe, or maybe right before, we were just like, we were just trying to get 2 points better.
Literally.
From last year, because like that was just like I felt so bad. Like looking on BBB, I was like, oh my God, and then like 15-13 or in the qualifier.
If you literally look at all of our finishes, even against we played in that P1440, we played Maria and Carol, who were like the #1 team in the world at the time. Yeah. We lost by like 3 or 4 points in the third set.
After smashing them in the first.
Yeah.
Which was awesome.
Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. I mean, I think it is a big jump. Like I think that is what you is this level of beach volleyball. 2 points is a huge jump.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That seems like a great goal in general. Just because a lot of people are going to set their goals like, oh, no, we don't want to get just 2 points better. We want to win every tournament or whatever. You know? And they set their goals at something that's not necessarily attainable, but to understand that like 2 points means you could be in a completely different position in your whole career. Like if you give me like 10 points to spread out last season. Right. I'm like sitting pretty right now.
Yeah. Even this year, I'd say that. Yeah.
Every season. Yeah.
So like literally 10 total points for the entire year.
Yeah,
like
easy.
It would change your year.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I think we our coaches, you know, obviously saw that, and I think we went back into our off season, you know, obviously at first cleaning up some technical things, but then like kind of talking about like our game management and like how we're like approaching the game. I mean, you can't control all the situations, so just feeling the momentum of the game and like when you're going for something and when you're not going for something. And I think that was like a big lesson for us to get those 2 points. And like this year we're working on another lesson to get 2 more points.
Yeah.
So,
Do you think it was something physical or mental that kind of clicked for you guys, or maybe just a little bit of both?
I think I would say mental.
I would say this last season was absolutely mental.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there are always things you can clean up, like skill-wise and whatnot, but I think you guys probably agree, but just once you hit a certain level, like, you know, you're going to make those jumps by controlling what's going on up there.
Totally,
like the physicality matters to here.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and like, I feel like at that point after that, it's more about staying healthy. You know, like I need to be physical enough to not get injured with all the matches that we're playing, which is a lesson I had to learn after 40 tournaments in 1 year.
So how is your body holding
up? You got
up?
a lot of reps though.
I got a lot of reps.
Yeah.
Yes, and I played with probably 30 people.
That's a lot.
You learn a lot.
I think
lot.
that's the best way to learn how to play, because like both mentally you have to learn how to play with so many different personalities and people, and like you learn how to be the partner that whoever you're playing with needs you to be.
How do I make the person next to me better?
Yeah. Which I think is like one of the most underrated skills in volleyball. It's like, passing. It's like, well, how can I try to be the best version of try?
Yeah.
And then, like,
because if you are, then it doesn't matter.
Right.
You know? So.
Totally.
Yeah.
I'm definitely missing out on that one. I've had 2 partners in like 7 years. Whatever.
You're just getting the most out of both of them.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
That's
getting
great.
the best out of these 2.
Yes. I just cleaned house in 1 year, and then I was like, all right, I'll commit now.
Yeah, there you go.
Commit on and off the court,
Well, that's the other thing we talk about a lot, is like knowing when to commit and invest in a relationship and like go through those highs and lows together.
Yeah.
Kind of like where you guys are at now, you're saying we need to get through those mental blocks together. And that's like team stuff, not just individual.
Yeah. I think that's extremely underrated in this sport.
Yeah.
Totally.
I feel like I see a lot of people at our level just kind of being like, I'm good enough already. Like, it's me, I'm good enough. So if I don't get the result I wanted, it's probably because this partnership isn't a good fit.
Yeah.
And so they move on. And that was a tough thing for me coming. I mean, I know the AVP is a different level than the NVL, but I had a lot of success on the NVL, and I did play like against a lot of really good teams. And our situation was her first full season playing, and also we had 0 points. So like we're playing qualifiers against the top seeds, which in the second round, not even the game to get in. Like we're playing a Nicolette and a Sarah Day in the second round.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, you know. So, but like the lesson, I feel like, committing to somebody, like, I mean, I feel like I've always looked at like how do the top teams in this sport succeed, and that's not flipping partners. Like, you know, it's playing like you've been doing. I mean, and showing success. Like you gotta, this sport is so.
Well, I think it forces you to like dig a little bit deeper into yourself too, instead of like pointing fingers or like blaming. You're like, okay, like I got to take a little bit of you know, responsibility here and like
absolutely
figure out how I'm going to be the best player for me and for my partner, whoever it is, you know.
We've done a lot of that.
Yeah.
How was it for you, Kim, going from, because like you were great on the NVL, and then going from like making finals, winning a couple, and you won the last one in Long Beach, right?
Yeah.
And then you go to the
Raquel's
AVP.
last hurrah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then you go to the AVP with like you mentioned, 0 points.
It was definitely tough to go back to the qualifier for sure, especially because those qualifiers are completely different than the NBL qualifiers were. But I think the experience I got in the NBL was like everything, because when we, like, I think I told you this in Austin, when we made the final, I was like, this is not my first time. Like, they're all saying it in the Amazon booth because they don't want to talk about the NBL, but it's not my first final. You know, it's not my first time. Like the NBL, the last one that they had was in the Long Beach Stadium. Like that was a huge stadium, and like that was like they were announcing it. It was like that feeling.
Like Geeter.
Yeah, you got a Geeter intro.
Yeah, that feeling, like you can't replace it. So like getting that experience, I think, was huge. I mean, not like our Austin final was a great showing. Like it definitely wasn't our best match, but it was like that feeling in the semis and finals I'd already experienced, and I think that was huge. I mean. So I don't know. I would definitely not take that back. People would always ask me while I was still playing the NBL, like, oh, when are you going to make the jump? And like some players did, you know, some players left the NBL, and I was like, I don't know. I'm making a lot of money. I'm playing a lot of volleyball.
Oh,
like
for sure.
And most of the tournaments were
in
close to
East
home
Coast.
for you.
Yeah.
So
and you weren't really allowed to play both, so it's not like you could build points on one.
Right. And I'd never played AVP before, so I was like, why am I going to give this up right now? You know, and I think the timing, the way it went down, ended up
they forced you to
working out for me, because then you were there, and but it was cool. That was a crazy tournament. That was I played with Raquel because we were kind of like, all right, Kai is going to play AVP, like my partner, like we were just, all right, we already trained together, but we're 2 defenders.
Right.
I ended up full-time blocking, getting served 99 balls out of 100.
And full-time blocking.
And full-time
That's
blocking.
tiring.
But that was the only...
And we lost to the Wits in the first round. So we went straight through the losers bracket.
Brutal.
I think that was like 7 or 8 matches.
So it's
and then had to play us in the semis.
Yeah, they were
Who were you
pissed.
playing with in that
Mel.
one?
That was
Okay. Okay.
So it was like our training group, and it was
Okay.
like my first year playing against my coach. She was probably like
In Long Beach.
In Long Beach.
You guys went all the way to Long Beach to
Right.
play that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
That's funny.
and that was the only tournament of the year.
And then and then you made your transition
Then we
out of necessity.
Yeah. Yeah. We hopped into a couple. I actually played with Katie Hogan in the Chicago qualifier, and then I played with Brooke Bauer, and I mean I thought those were 2 pretty good pickups. But
Yeah, I love Brooke Bauer. I think she's so good.
She's a stud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's gonna be awesome when she gets out of Pepperdine.
Yeah, I know. I got her to block for me for that tournament.
Nice.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, that was good, man. We lost a gnarly match to Katie and Carissa in the qualifier.
Tough draw. Jeez.
Yeah, really.
Yeah,
Well, you had no points.
We drew Jason Laura in Chicago, and we drew
Yeah.
Katie and Carissa in Manhattan. That was my first AVP experience.
The girls' side
Mel
is
and I
so
played
stacked.
Corinne and Brittany Howard our first
Yeah.
year.
I mean, tough draws for them too. Like,
For
I would
sure.
hate to see a team like you guys. I'm like, God, these stupid 4 people with no points.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate
Oh
it.
man.
That's all the college girls are becoming.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's
Oh,
nuts.
Yeah, you don't know what to get.
I look at the
yeah.
bracket and people are like, oh, we're just playing like the 81st seed. I'm like, that
Good
81st
luck.
seed's like
Yeah,
the
you
10th
like
best
us.
team in the
Yeah,
tournament.
Solid.
Like,
Yeah.
have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Where do you guys see yourselves, or what's the path that you're on in terms of the future now? You guys kind of established yourself on the AVP, and where do you guys see this all going?
I don't know. I'm kind of like a one step at a time kind of
Yeah.
girl.
Mhm.
So I think
Well, you got your one FIVB under your belt.
we got our one FIVB under the belt, and I think we're just trying to pursue that as much as we can.
Yeah.
I think last year the focus was like AVP.
Yeah.
We thought about FIVBs, but it's kind of hard. I don't know.
Maybe
Maybe
bite
for
off
some
more
people
than you
like
can chew. You
hard
know?
to
Yeah,
do
totally.
both of those at the same time.
See how it grows
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
go with.
So it's nice to have like a little bit more stability on like the AVP side, and then just
Totally.
I think just one step at a time, try and grow as much as we can,
Yeah. I like it. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you know, see where it takes us. But I mean, I think the goal is just to compete at a high level for
And score 2 more points.
and
And
score
score 2
Yeah.
points.
That's it.
Absolutely.
Love
Yeah,
it.
I mean, I think that's
Yeah.
where we're really on the same page. I feel like I've never like said, "Oh, my goal is to win an AVP. Oh, my goal is to do this." But like, my goal is to get better. I
Right.
take every single opportunity that I can to keep going. Like I just feel like you're like slowly climbing the ladder. I'm trying not to go like 2 rungs ahead.
Yeah. Totally.
And I think that's kind of where we were on the same page last year. We definitely talked about FIVB at the beginning of the season, but I'm really glad we ended up staying really focused on
Yeah.
the AVP because I think that was the first step,
Right.
like, and having a little bit more, honestly, financial stability in this sport
Yeah.
is like huge. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I like that you guys stayed home too because you were having so much success on the AVP that like why change what you're doing? And I feel like
Yeah.
that's what a lot of athletes get in trouble with. They're like, oh, like I won a CBVA, let's go to Malaysia. Not right away.
Yeah.
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 It's like, hold on, let's just take this one, like
Totally.
you said, just one rung at a time.
yeah.
Yeah.
And now you guys are making those steps, and you make your first main draw and a 2-star, which is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Just building blocks. Just
Yeah.
Yeah.
one at a time.
Yeah.
Just
Keep
see
building.
what,
I
and
like
if we
that.
keep building,
Yeah.
see what happens next, see what opportunities come next, and
Yeah.
I think that's great. I feel like people from the beginning are like, I'm going to be an Olympian.
yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, let's start with 1 star or
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
Start with the
Let's
AVP.
take
If you can do well in the
Qualify for
AVP,
one
yeah.
first, and then, but just setting the goal that far ahead, I feel like you kind of lose sight of what you're trying to do in the moment.
Yeah.
For sure.
So you guys like just being ready for the next step, and seeing where it takes you.
Yeah.
Seems
Yeah.
like you're good.
Then you can always just
Cool.
keep going.
Yeah.
It's not like you hit a goal and you're like, oh, what do I do now?
Right.
Like it's like, all right.
Yeah.
Now what can we do?
It's just kind of like, oh, we hit this milestone. Great. What's the next? Like, let's
Yeah.
go for another one. Let's
The
go for another one.
fulfillment of all of it comes in like moving forward.
Yeah.
Whether just a little bit.
Yeah.
You don't have to like go all the way. It's just, oh yeah, I took a step forward. That feels
Yep.
good.
Yeah.
Took a step
It's
forward.
about
And
the
then
journey, right?
If you keep playing for a long time and you keep taking steps forward, you're gonna end up somewhere in a nice spot.
Right.
You know,
Exactly. Yeah. Nicely put.
Yeah.
Yep.
Love it.
Have you guys mapped out what your next tournament would be? A bigger one, I guess, because since there's so many in Florida, like either are you going, is like Huntington your next one, or are you going to try to hit another FIVB
We're going to
before?
Guam.
Going to Guam. Okay,
Guam.
awesome. 1
Yeah.
star?
Yep.
1 star.
Dude, Guam's awesome. They have a really cool little sneaky beach volleyball community down there.
Yeah. Oh.
Really cool.
Okay, so watch out for the Guam teams.
Or no? I don't
Okay.
remember how good the teams were. I went for a pro-am. No, it's
Okay.
like this beach bar next to these courts and just like super good people, and I won the pro-am, so I was stoked. It was like the biggest paycheck of my life, like $500 at the time. But like really good people down there, and they love volleyball. So
nice.
That'll be sick.
Yeah, we're excited.
It's like a mini Oahu.
Nice.
Where I'm from.
Yeah.
There's like a little Waikiki, all these
Not hard
Japanese
to get there
tourists.
from Hawaii.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah,
It's a little harder from Florida.
Oh yeah, that's brutal.
it's better than Cambodia.
Layover in Hawaii. Then you get the double dip.
It was one option, but we didn't take that one.
It wasn't the cheap option.
Yeah.
Beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah.
But yes, we have Guam, and then we have we're going to Cincinnati.
Oh yeah, we're playing the AVP next.
Oh, nice.
In Cincinnati,
That
which
is
stacked.
loaded.
Stacked tournament.
Top like
mini
12
AVP.
That's
teams
like
are
what
like
AVP
gnarly.
San Francisco used to be. Like
Yeah.
that, like quality, because AVP San Francisco was always during like a 5 or a 4-star.
Yeah.
So all the top teams are gone. So it was
Yeah.
always kind of the up and coming.
Oh, it's
like, really
a
good teams.
solid
And like,
tournament.
I was looking at the list, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, we're excited. I mean, it's awesome to get. I just think this year it's been really, really cool to get such good competition like so early for us.
Yeah, the AVP Next Gold series is awesome.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The AVP added like 8 middle of the road terms that JM calls them AVP NVLs.
Yeah.
Because it's like
AVP
similar.
Next Gold Series?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So they're like
Great.
It's like $15,000.
$15,000 to $25,000
yeah.
tournaments, and
Bids.
and you get bids. So Cincinnati's
It's a second
stacked because it's a
qualifier.
bid to New York.
That's amazing.
So and New York, like
It's a bid to New York.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like that's
New York's
like
huge.
the
Yeah.
one.
it's
you
like
need to
double
be in.
points, double prize money, like
And it's a 16-team draw.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
huge.
That's rad.
Yeah, it's
I
been
miss
awesome.
Cincinnati.
Oh
We
yeah.
played there for a while too.
Yeah.
At that tennis center.
Like under the lights,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, yep. It was really cool.
We played an NBL in Columbus one time at a water park,
Oh, rad.
and so like in
I
between
heard that
games,
was great.
That's how you
you'd
cool
literally
off.
like go down the water slide like
That's
after
sick.
your match. That was pretty
I
cool.
love
Matt
it.
That's the
Blank
first one I
loved
played
that
with Kai
style.
actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
Love it.
that was cool.
I
Guys,
know-
we got to we gotta
we've
get
kept
you
it
off
for
to
a while.
dinner.
Oh
You guys
yeah.
got a lot of stuff to do out
We're
here in
busy.
California.
We've stayed busy.
Very busy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't like to sit around
Except for on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
for this 1 hour. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're glad we can get you out to California.
Yeah, thanks for having us
here.
you
Thanks
guys
for
been
having
traveling a lot here in your
great.
preseason.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
So-
excited about it.
Yeah,
That's right.
congrats
So far,
on the
so good.
wedding. Congrats on the main draw.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And hopefully we'll be seeing. Well, good luck in Guam, and I'm not going to Cincy, so good luck out there too.
Thanks.
I'm sure I'll be seeing you guys soon.
Yeah.
See you on AVP.
Yeah. Good luck in
Definitely see you
Doha.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Should be fun.
Yeah.
Nice and hot.
Yeah.
Sweet. Shoots.